Right, I'd been asked a question about relationships. God, sore throat, man. Relationships, and somebody has asked that, look, they found a suitor which is, let's say, appropriate or who they like. So this girl has found somebody who she likes, so she likes this guy, but he doesn't really pray. Is that an issue? Should she turn that down for somebody who does pray? Right, and we've just got Indra tuning in there all the way from Indonesia. By the way, I've had some messages from Indonesia. All the people tuning in there, much love to all of you. Shukran, barakallah feekum wa hayyakum. Right, so just thought I'd give a random shout out there. But look, this question of relationships, if you found a spouse but he doesn't pray or she doesn't pray, should this be a deal breaker? Now, that's interesting because look, I don't know. I think this depends because it's what does it mean to be religious? That's the question, you see. Because in the hadith, when the Prophet said people are married for beauty and wealth and status and so on, but be victorious with the one of deen, you see, deen in that day and age meant deen with character as well. It meant having like this human character to you. Today, it doesn't mean that. So I'm not sure what people mean when they say religious. If somebody's religious, because if religious means religion is important in your life, as in it plays an important role in your life. Because I could take myself as an example. To many people, I'm definitely not religious to many people. Depends on your understanding of religion. You see, to me, if I take the understanding that religion plays a huge role in my life, then I'm deeply religious. Islam plays a massive role in my life. But how it plays a role is very different. In my life, it plays a role in its teachings, in the curiosity it arouses in me, in the guidance, in the wisdom it bestows, in its kind of infinite search, perpetual search it sends me on, in the kind of way that it adapts to all times and places. This is how Islam kind of totally overwhelms me. So yes, in that sense, I would consider myself to be very deeply religious, if that's what being religious means. If being religious means you're always praying or you're worshipping a lot and stuff like this, then I doubt I will be from that category of being seen as very religious. Or you are you love ceremonies and ritual religion, and so it depends what religious means to people. So I would say that, look, it depends on what if that is important to you, what that person is. To me as a person personally, being a good human being, yes, look, I'm a Muslim, so if I was to marry somebody, them being a Muslim would be very important to me, and that's the same with most Muslims everywhere, and that's understandable. Do they have to be praying? Now, praying is important to me, that they pray their daily prayers, but to me, that they are a decent human being would probably weigh heavier than just the fact that they have rituals but then are very kind of arrogant or something, or that they don't have good character. So to me, character would overweigh certain things, although the fact that they pray is very important. But for example, you get people who pray but they're kind of weird, they're cultish. I can't stand people like that. I mean, I couldn't personally stand somebody that would want to tell me about praying and tell me about doing stuff like this. So I don't know. This is a personal question that each person has to answer. So I would say that, look, I don't feel personally that it has to be a deal breaker. I would say that I don't think you are sinful in any way for choosing somebody that doesn't pray. I don't think so. As long as they're a decent human being. But I'm not saying you need to choose that person. It's entirely up to you who you choose, okay? They should click. There should be some, obviously, shared values. There should be some understanding. And everybody's different. So that's my advice on people who are seeking kind of suitable suitors. That how should they be? Should they be into what I'm into? And sometimes they don't need to be totally into what you're into, because that's just does your head. And religion, once again, it's different to all people. To me, religion is a very private affair. I don't instruct people around me to pray, for example. I don't. Like people, I would never instruct my wife or instruct somebody, say, oh, you haven't prayed Dhuhr, get up and pray Dhuhr. I would never do that. I wouldn't even, I mean, it's just, that's the kind of person I am. Because I believe that if I tell somebody to pray, imagine in their heart they get this kind of feeling that, well, I was going to, but now why should I do it? Because you told me to. And because of that, they choose not to pray. And I get the fact that, look, in the Quran, there is the verse addressing the Prophet. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Command your family. But that's to the Prophet, because he would have done it in the best of ways. Me, if I tell somebody to pray, I'll probably just annoy them. So I ain't going to do that. So that's me. So I think this is it's up to each person how they choose to, but I don't think you need to feel guilty. At the same time, I do think Islamic values are important. If they're important to you, they should be some shared kind of values. They should be, that prayer should be important. But if a person prays 5 times a day, if they, let's say they're missing their prayers, or they're struggling with that, or I don't know, I mean, it's your call. So that's what I would say.